Mhm.
I just want to say hello. I'm Bridget Ann Yara, and I'm talking about the Civil War and the Ku Klux Klan. The Ku Klux Klan started after the Civil War happened. The KKK happened by chance on December 24th, 1865. A group of Confederate veterans got together and made the Ku Klux Klan. It also started as a social club. The club accident or start yeah, the club accidentally scared the blacks. The blacks thought that they were ghosts from the battlefield because it was a battlefield near where they lived, and this club was only doing um, having the club for the fun of it, just to entertain their girlfriends or their friends and family, and they took it more seriously with the hoods and things, and they took it more seriously. And the blacks got really, really scared about that. Secret underground societies were in the U.S. everywhere. Some of the names were Knights of the White Camilla, White League, and the Ku Klux Klan were some of the clubs that there was. These organizations used passwords and secret handshakes. Whites thought they were better than the blacks. They were also called the white supremacy groups because that they were better. At the same time, there was Union Leaguers and Carpetbaggers. The Union Leaguers helped teach the blacks how to get revenge on their masters. Carpetbaggers is another name for Union Leaguers. Carpetbaggers made suitcases out of carpet. The Union Leaguers were also Northerners. Um, that is how the South could identify them. The Union Leaguers taught the blacks how to vote how they wanted. The South feared the North and thought that the North, with their ex-slaves, was going to come and take over their society, the South society. The Reconstruction dismantled the Southern government. There also was a depression. Jobs and food were scarce. The South thought the blacks were going to take over. There were also lies and rumors about white girls would be forced to marry black men. They started those because they hated the blacks, and since they thought they were going to take over, that was going to happen, so they warned the mothers and fathers. The blacks acted violently because of the Union Leaguers promised them riches and power. This is what made the secret societies react violently. Because of all the abductions and killings, the Grand Wizard, the leader of the KKK, disbanded it in 1869. In reality, no one really disbanded at all. All of this summed up to more hatred towards the blacks. This is still going on today. Thank you. That would be the Grand Wizard. KKK members come hooded in arms, ready to kill and abduct blacks. Two white supremacy groups. Soldiers forcing blacks to vote their way, which was a very common thing back then because they actually thought they were higher than the blacks. And this is a picture of the Ku Klux Klan burning a cross in the night. And why they do that is because the Ku Klux Klan and all those clans are very, very religious. And they think that they're way, way better than the blacks. And then what they think they're doing is really what they think they're doing is right, which is not. And it still happens today out there. So, the end of it.
Okay, now take a moment and fill out your little sheet, okay?
Could you just sit where you were the last speech? Thanks.
Okay, Carrie, can you pull that?
Okay. The Diary of Fred Goller, May 1st, 1861. I'm Fred Goller. I'm a 16-year-old that joined the Union Army, and I just got my uniform. Great, my trousers are too long by about 3 or 4 inches. The shirt was rough and stiff, too big at the neck and too short everywhere else. The cap was baggy with board on top and a leather bill. The coat was so big that it made me feel like a little kid. It isn't what I expected, but it will have to do. July 21st, 1861. When I was at the Battle of Bull Run, I saw General McDowell ride by me. He was wearing a double-breasted dark blue coat with gold buttons, epaulets, and sash. On his shoulder strap there was a star, and that's how I could tell he was a brigadier general. Man, does he look sharp. Later in the battle, my unit was thrashing the rebels when all of a sudden some new troops dressed in blue came over the hill and started shooting at us. We had to retreat. Then we found out that the troops were rebels from Virginia. It was confusing because the rebels were wearing blue instead of gray. September 10th, 1864. We were occupying the city of Atlanta. I just got a new uniform that fit me better than my first one. I was assigned to a burial detail. I couldn't help notice how the rebels' clothes were rags, and a lot of them didn't have any shoes. Of course, they didn't have factories to make clothes. I felt lucky to have my good uniform. April 9th, 1865. At last we won the war. Man, I'm glad I can go home. I've been gone so long that I don't know why this war even started. Alright, are there any questions? Okay. This is a Confederate general uniform, and that's the South uniform that they wore. And this is General McDowell, and that's the Union General's uniform. And this is the Confederate uniform, and that's the Union uniform, and this is the infantry private uniform. And these are the different kinds of hats they had, and a bugle, which they didn't really have. And they had all kinds of trousers and
suspenders or braces and a raincoat. And that's it.
You better go get a candy stuff. Just
That day I was at Andersonville, Florida. 1,000 were in the hospital, and that nearly as many more were sick in the stockade. I don't know exactly how many died that day, but in all probability 100 at least. For according to the hospital records, the average daily death rate for the month of August 1864 was fully that number. This quote comes from a Confederate boy who visited the Andersonville prison. Today I'm going to talk to you about Civil War prisons. The southern prison at Andersonville, Georgia was considered the worst war prison in the North South. The prison was officially named Camp Sumter. In late February, new prisoners found 16.5 acres of open land enclosed by a 15-foot tall stockade. During the prison had little housing, clothing, or medical care. In June, the prison increased its size to 26 acres. By August, the prison held more than 32,000 Union prisoners. The Georgia heat, along with disease, filth, and exposure, took many men to their deaths. Food rations consisted of a single meal of watery soup each day. In less than 1 year, more than 13,000 prisoners died at Andersonville. The conditions at Andersonville were so bad that it became a death camp. Henry Wirz, the commander of the Andersonville prison, was tried and executed because of bad conditions at Andersonville. The worst Union prison camp was in Elmira, New York, and contained 9,600 prisoners inside a 40-acre enclosure. How did these boys manage to stay alive? Some used their imaginations and skills. Many took a more direct approach to getting more food and clean water. A prisoner's diary states, September 13, 1863. Rats are found to be very good for food, and every night many are captured and slain. Prisoners tried all sorts of methods to fight off their greatest enemy, boredom. Some gambled, some played baseball games, and others performed plays and musical shows. Prisoners who had been college professors offered courses in Greek, Latin, French, German, Spanish, and math. About 194,000 Union soldiers and about 214,000 Confederate soldiers were prisoners of the Civil War. All total, the North and South had about 30 major prison camps each. The prison camps, for the most part, were actually more deadly than the battles themselves. Of the nearly 194 Union soldiers held prisoner, 22,576 died. Of about 214,000 Confederates in northern prisons, 26,436 died. Andersonville was established as a national cemetery in 1865, and today whetstone markers and painfully round rows mark the almost 13,000 graves of pioneers who died. And here's Andersonville, and there's its crowding all over it there, and here's the 15-foot tall stockades, Elmira prison camp, and soldiers burying their own dead. And then here are the Union
get your question from him from the post.
16th President. Mr. Lincoln was a man known as the American Dream Man. When Lincoln was entering the election, he received many threatening letters. Even when he became president, he received many more. Lincoln saved all the letters and put them in a folder called Assassination. Many of Abe's friends did not want him to become president, for they were afraid of losing him. On April 14, 1865, 2 days after the Civil War, Lincoln, his wife Mary, and their bodyguard attended a comedy at the Ford Theater, only 6 blocks away from the White House. After Lincoln and Mary were seated, their bodyguard went out of the balcony to stand guard. After the show started, he walked away from the doorway. Abe Lincoln looked more relaxed than he had in years. At 10 o'clock p.m., John Wilkes Booth, a loyal, devoted soldier in the militia for the South, walked through the theater lobby and up the balcony stairs. Everyone was enjoying themselves, but not for long. At 10:15, 15 minutes later after Booth's arrival, Booth had shot President Abraham Lincoln in the head. On April 15, 1865, Lincoln passed away. Booth was on the run, so as the many others that were accomplices. President Abraham Lincoln was driven on a train in his casket and brought to Illinois to be buried on the morning of May 2, 1865 at 7 o'clock a.m. On April 26, 1865, 10 days after the 11th president's death, Booth was tracked down and shot to death in a grain barn near Bowling Green, Virginia. On July 7, 1866, Lewis Payne, George Atterbury, David Harold, and Mary Surratt were hanged for their roles in Lincoln's assassination and attempted murder of Vice President Andrew Jackson and Secretary of State Henry Seward. Hope for a generous and peaceful reconciliation with the South died with President Abraham Lincoln. Like the war had torn the nation in two, the healing process would take longer than anyone had ever expected. This is Ford Theater, and Mr. Lincoln and his wife attended, and this is what the flyer for what they went and saw. This was at the Ford Theater when Booth shot Mr. Lincoln, and this is Booth running away in his life, going up to Lincoln to see if he was okay. This was Abraham Lincoln before he became president during his election, and this is afterwards. This is Booth, and these are the accomplices that were involved. This was the reward for finding them. This was the parade that they had after he died. And this is the train that he went to in Illinois, on his way to Illinois, and this was the casket he was in.
Wait, mine turned down too. Is somebody run over there and push the stop button on that, please? Okay, now we know the Civil War soldiers kept themselves busy with music at night. Okay, we're gonna go about this speed. Pretty slow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you can go faster, but it's not a race, remember? 1, 2, wait, instruments up. Going way fast, stop.
We all started at the wrong time.
I started, yeah, I did too.
Okay, you're going really slow.
Count 1, 2, 3, so we,
1, okay, instruments up. 1, 2, 3. And having a little smile always helps. Yeah.
Well, if you guys laugh at my little dumb joking, I'll smile. But if not, I'm just going to
We're
straight.
all laughing.
Stop fidgeting!
It's my joke.
Are you going to start with an introduction? Hi, my name is.
Hi, my name is Carrie Glazer, and I'm an 8th grade student at Compton School. I would first like to thank my family for their support and inspire me to succeed in school. I would also like to thank the teachers and the school board for giving me the chance to achieve my goals through their extra effort and help. I couldn't have made it without you. I have worked hard for this. It was not easy, but with a couple of pushes, I managed. I often tell my friends, if you want something, then work for it. 9 out of 10 times you'll get it. It's just like Pamela Star once said, reach high for stars once hit your soul, dream deep for your dream proceeds in goal. Now don't get me wrong, I still have many goals to reach for, but it's a relief to know that I'm halfway there. These past 4 months have gone by quickly, but I would have to say that I've learned more in 4 months than I have in all the previous years of schooling. By that I mean, because of the small, close environment this school has, it offers a more expanded education. How education is here is how it should be, one-on-one, more personalized. I've learned how rewarding it is to help teach younger students the knowledge I have, and that it isn't applying to people who surround you, but the quality. When I first came to Crown King and I visited the small one-room schoolhouse, I was overwhelmed by how different it was. I would honestly have to say it was a culture shock. Albert Einstein once said, all that is valuable in humane society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded to the individual. Again, I would like to thank everyone for your time and patience. Lord knows Miss Lombardo needed it with me and Matt. I would like to leave the students, which will be remaining at Crown King School, with a thought. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people often do that. But the really great makes you feel that you too can become great. Thank you and good night. This one was my version of an 8th grade student at Crown King. I would first like to thank my family for their support and inspire me to succeed in school. I would also like to thank the teachers and the school board for giving me the chance to achieve my goals through their extra effort and help. I couldn't have made it without you. I have worked hard for this. It was not easy, but with a couple of pushes, I managed. I often tell my friends, if you want something, then work for it. 9 out of 10 times you'll get it. It's just like Pamela Star once said, reach high for stars once in your soul, dream deep for every dream, proceed in your goal. Now don't get me wrong, I still have many goals to reach for, but it's a relief to know that I'm halfway there. These past 4 months have gone by quickly, but I would have to say that I've learned more in 4 months than I have in the total 8 years of schooling. By that I mean, I've learned how rewarding it is to help teach other students the knowledge I have that isn't applying to people who surround you, but the quality. When I first came to Crown King and I visited the small one-room schoolhouse, I was overawed. My whole life I've attended large schools with kids my own age. I would honestly have to say it was a culture shock. Albert Einstein once said, all that is valuable in humane society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded to the individual. Again, I would like to thank my family, Miss Bloom, Miss Lombardo, Miss Height, and Miss Henningsen for your time and patience. Lord knows Miss Lombardo needed it with me and Matt. I would like to leave the students I will be remaining at Crown King School with a thought. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people often do that. But the really great makes you feel that you too can become great. Thank you and good night.
Steps in there, Mr. Wigglebug. Just by yourself, please, Justice. That's flat-footed. On your toes, please. Okay, remember the tilting of your body? Did you ever see Charlie, especially if you're a guy, your partner's going to have littler legs, shorter legs. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. You're getting it. Okay. See you guys? Okay, now get a partner to the music.
Okay,
There you go, come on. Stand up and be first.
Don't be afraid of touching your partner.
Young thinking, can I be where love
Hey, promenade. Three, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn around. Okay, left foot first. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You may be seated. Friends of Crown King School, tonight marks the end of yet another school year. However, for one graduating 8th grader, it is truly the beginning of a new chapter in her young life. Ladies and gentlemen, don't ask me where this year has gone, but if having fun is an indicator of fleeting, flying time, then I must confess this teacher, especially, has had lots of fun. A fellow teacher and a dear friend and colleague once said, and I fondly remember her words, "Patricia, if the teacher is happy and having fun, the students in that classroom are learning." Sounds like Crown King School. I will not pass this way again, and so I must continue with the following remarks, simply because they are a part of my memorable year. To begin, our little school journeyed down to the Prescott County Fair to look and see and awe at many of the attractions offered at only our own Prescott County Fair. And the best attraction of all was our very own family totem pole exhibit. Very spiffy indeed. October, a busy month for us. With the help of our own Crown King Fire Department, we observed Fire Prevention Week. With sirens shrieking and school bells ringing, didn't we, Liberty? We evacuated our school to wait for further instructions from our fire chief, Mr. Lombardo, and his crew of firefighters. During that special week, Justice McNeese, Justice, stand up for just a minute, would you? Justice McNeese entered the Great Safety Adventure and won $1,000 U.S. savings bond. Can you go to your audience, please, young man? One of only 100 winners. So Justice, thank you. Would you sit down, please, sir? The Phoenix Zoomobile razzled and dazzled us with vultures, scorpions, snakes, and a very impressive menagerie of Arizona wildlife. The day before Halloween, along with the help of parents, friends, and school board members, we presented the Enchanting Hour, a salute to our very own Crown King Autumn in the High Country. Eddie the Blue-Nosed Elk donned our stage this Christmas 2000 to the standing room only crowd. I can still hear Santa's helper, Justice McNeese, asking Eddie, Bridget Ann Maurer, "Are you a reindeer?" Do you know, ladies and gentlemen, do you have any idea how many times we've practiced that line? Read Across America brought time-honored literature to our classroom, shared by some of our very special people here in Crown King. Liberty McNeese, along with Linda Lombardo, presented the true story of the Three Little Pigs, and Lorraine Elliott's My Mother's Poem. On April 16th, thanks to Brian Rublinger, Lowell's Observatory Cosmic Cart enlightened us with the wonders of astronomy. All aboard, and all aboard we were on the Verde Canyon Railroad just a few short weeks ago. Bald eagles, wild flowers, red wall limestone layers, and what else did we see, Liv? What else did we see? An antiquated Perkinsville Station, where the train got on a side track, went around to the back, hooked on, and away we went. Back to our destination, the station, huh? Okay? Only last week, ladies and gentlemen, our artist in residence, Miss Juanita, taught us to play the flute, which you will later hear, I'm proud to say. Anyway, she taught us to play the flute, dance the waltz, the polka, and the cha-cha-cha. She literally immersed us into the Civil War with music, astounding anecdotes, and a truly hands-on study of the Civil War. Not to give you the impression, ladies and gentlemen, that we did nothing but play, allow me to continue with my remarks. My students, my dear young students, bright, intelligent, outstanding, creative, interested, inquisitive young students, wrote a basket full of multi-paragraphs. They also presented classroom reports with style and gusto, friendly letters written to Australia and Fiji and Dallas, Texas, my grandchildren, to make sure we got responses. They studied, took tests, both the Stanford 9, and some took the infamous AIMS. We don't know if it'll be around next year, but this year we took it, okay? They memorized lines, math facts, critical attributes from many different disciplines. In a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, we have learned. Students, all of you, Carrie, Ian, Bridget Ann, Justice, and Liberty, you know what a baby I am when it comes to emotional kinds of things. I have a wish list for your summer, and it comes from my heart. My wish list for you this summer includes, first of all, is reading. I want you to read as often and as much as you can. And guess what? Mrs. Height even has some special prizes for those of you who do read and present maybe just a little book report. I also want you to continue to dream. Dream all of the great things life has in store for you, both today and in your wonderful futures. Remember, students, always hold on to your dreams. And finally, my dear young people, continue to learn, to live life to its fullest, today and every day of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to leave with you one closing thought. I celebrated my 39th birthday last August, and my sons presented me with this collection of, it's entitled The Language of Teaching. It's a collection of Blue Mountain arts, and he wrote a little note to me that I'd like to share with you before I read my little passage here. It says, "To my mother, my first teacher, have yourself a merry, wonderful little one-room schoolhouse. Love, your son Tom." And the selection, just a shorty that I'd like to share with you because I think it does closure to what I'm trying to say tonight. The future of the nation is on the shoulders of teachers and how they teach kids. The future of the world is in the classroom where the teachers are. And if we have any chance to guarantee a positive bridge to the 21st century, it is how we educate the children in the classroom today. Our students, my students, your children, your beautiful children, have begun that bridge to the 21st century. Thanks to their parents, their greatest and first teachers, thanks to their families, aunts and uncles and mamas and papas and cousins, and to the support of this community, we're on our way successfully to the 21st century. And without further ado, and nothing more out of me, I would now, it is my genuine pleasure to present to you, ladies and gentlemen, our 8th grade graduate from Crown King School, Miss Carrie Glasser.
Good evening, everybody. I would first like to thank my family for their support and inspiring me to succeed in school. I would also like to thank the teachers and the school board for giving me the chance to achieve my goals through the extra effort and help. I could have made it without you. I have worked hard for this. It was not easy, but with a couple of pushes, I managed. I often tell my friends, if you want something, then work for it. 9 out of 10 times, you'll get it. It's just like Pamela Star once said, reach high for your stars, must fit in your soul, dream deep for every dream, pursue from your goal. Now don't get me wrong, I still have many goals to reach for, but it's relief to know that I'm halfway there. These past 4 months have gone by quickly, but I would have to say that I've learned more in 4 months than I have in the 12 8 years of schooling. By that I mean, I've learned how rewarding it is to help teach other students the knowledge I have, that it isn't the quantity of people that surround you, but the quality. When I first came to Crown King, and I visited the small one-room schoolhouse, I was overawed. For my whole life, I've attended large schools with my kids' own age, my own age. Albert Einstein once said, all that is valuable in humane society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded to the individual. I would like to leave the students that will be remaining at Crown King School with a thought. Keep away from people who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people often do that. But the really great makes you feel that you too can become great. Again, I would like to thank my family, Miss Boone, Miss Lombardo, Miss Height, Miss Hanson. Thank you, and good night.
Very nicely done, Carrie. We will now continue on with our program. We are going to recognize all of our young people for special recognition. I do want to announce to all of you that every one of you made it on to the next grade. Every single one was promoted to the next grade. I'm still working on those last minute grades, so I will mail your report cards to your parents probably on Friday, so you're looking, maybe I should not have said that. Guess what, we have the post office before the rest of the day. Anyway, you can be very proud of their report card. all did very well, and they will all be, they are all promoted to the next grade. Okay. I do have, as I say, some special awards that I would like to present at this time. First of all, I would like to say just a few words. Why don't I just give the award and then say a few words? That sounds better. This award is presented to Ian Castellano. Ian did an outstanding job in his science studies this year. And Mrs. Lombardo and I are both in agreement on that, so we both signed this award, Ian. We'd like to congratulate you. Ian is really my Christmas hero. He was our Santa Claus, plus he volunteered to memorize a rather lengthy poem at the very end of our Christmas program. And we didn't have to pull his toe under the table or threaten him. He just gallantly volunteered and ended up with probably another, 20 lines, but he pulled it through for us. And as far as I'm concerned, did a wonderful job to really make that Christmas program fly. Thank you, Ian. My next young lady, Bridget Ann, if you would please come to the podium. Mrs. Lombardo and I had a time trying to figure out what in the world you are good at. So many things, young lady. We had to get out, I got out the calculator, she got out pencil and paper, and we figured it right down to the line, okay? Because you know, numbers do kind of run the world. They really do, and our grades are strictly run by numbers. Her very highest grade of all of the students, and repeatedly throughout the last 4 quarters of her education as a 5th grader. She is our very, very best speller, ladies and gentlemen, and we would like to reward her. Justice, if you would please come to the podium, please. Justice has read every book written with the title Harry Potter. He is also an aficionado when it comes to sheets, pillowcases, crayons, colors. This man knows Harry Potter inside and out. I think in another life, Justice was truly Harry Potter. He's very, very knowledgeable. And we are awarding him for the most improvement, the most outstanding reader here in our school. So, Justice McNeese, an outstanding achievement in reading, Justice. Justice, are you a reindeer? And Liberty, if you will please come to the podium. Come on, Lab. Can you get up here and turn around so we can all see you? All right. Liberty.
Are you a reindeer?
I am a reindeer. And after tonight, I'm going to fly out of here. This says to Liberty, this award is presented to Liberty McNeese for outstanding achievement in a very cheerful attitude. Make a snowball out of it and start throwing it. So there you go, Deb. Congratulations. Hold on to it now. There we go. Don't lose it. And certainly, last but not least, would Carrie please come to the podium? This award is presented to Carrie for outstanding achievement in leadership at Crown King School. Carrie has set an excellent role model example. She has helped the teachers. She has been very positive. When the chips were down, she has made a real mark on our little school, and we are very proud of her. Carrie, congratulations. Just to give you some practice walking in those high heels, Carrie, would you please again come to the podium? Keep your head up because you really have to work at those high heels, okay? Trust me. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to Carrie. It says this certifies that Carrie Glazer has completed the elementary school course of study prescribed by the State Board of Education and therefore permits this certificate of promotion. Okay, entitling admission to any high school in Arizona given at Crown King School District, Yavapai County, Arizona, on this 22nd day of May 2001. I have signed it, the superintendent has signed it, and much to my chagrin, our school board members were not able to attend, but we will take care of having Mr. King or one of our other members sign, and Carrie already spoke to you about that. But for right now, we practice this to class, or ladies and gentlemen, class. Congratulations, Carrie. We now have something very special for you. And Ian is going to give you a little bit of background. So if you will please give us again your undivided attention. Ian is going to give you kind of a little overview of the very last part of our program. Oh, Ian has notes.
How the song Amazing Grace was made. John Newton was raised on a slave ship. His dad was a slave trader. His dad died and another man owned the ship. John got beaten by this guy. Then John knew how it felt to be a slave. When John grew up, he became a slave trader too. But then one day John sailed out to sea when a storm hit him. John prayed to make it out of the storm. When he did, he wrote Amazing Grace and 300 more songs. Please sing Amazing Grace with us.
At the very end of we're going to play a little flute song for you. So if you guys will get your flutes. Okay, let's get into our little energy circle.
I can never turn down a gig.
We're just going to get into an energy circle. All right. All right. Okay. Are the girls on the can you know the music?
I know.
One more time. Okay. Watch, pay attention. Shh. I'm not ready.
Okay.
speech. I just want to thank you, everyone, for coming. We really appreciate your support here at our little school. We hope to see you soon. We wish you a very happy and safe and blessed summer. Please take a minute to enjoy some of our refreshments provided by our school and some of our parents. And again, thank you for coming. Have a great summer. Stay safe, and students will see you in the fall. All right? Here to see you.